Okay, hello everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to our first session of Dr. Spotfire in 2025. I'm your host, Athir Alatar, joined with Jose in today's session. Today, you will learn how to embed Spotfire visual data science in your website. And then the Spotfire JavaScript API for mashups let you embed interactive Spotfire visualizations into websites. And it offers extensive customization and integration capabilities, enabling also control over analysis interactions with visualizations and integrations with other APIs.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Well, before we get started, let's define what is a Spotfire. So we have everyone on the same page. Spotfire is a visual data science platform, and I want to understand. I want you to understand what is a Spotfire. It's a visual data science platform, and this means that it's not just a tool, but a platform that enables you to create low-code, no-code visual analytics applications to solve complex industry problems. The types of use cases that Spotfire addresses are not traditional BI problems. We have industry-specific solutions like custom visualization for the oil and gas, high-tech marine manufacturing, life sciences, among other solutions and industries. And so Spotfire focuses on visual data science meant to convey the interaction of real-time data connectivity and performance, visualizations, and advanced data science. Well, that's a quick overview of what Spotfire is. For more information, go to spotfire.com to learn more.
And then Dr. Spotfire program is designed to help new and advanced Spotfire users. The program is hosted by Spotfire experts. That's Jose, me, and Boris, in data science and customer success. And Dr. Spotfire office hours are monthly sessions on every Tuesday, every first Tuesday of the month, 11 a.m. Central. You can watch us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and then you can also go back to our Dr. Spotfire page on our website to watch any previous sessions, or like if you missed the session, you can always go back and then rewatch it.
Yeah, that's 11 a.m. Central Time, and I'm going to show you how the Dr. Spotfire program works. One of those legs, if you will, is the monthly sessions like today's session. And then we have also quick tips, but most important is based on your feedback. We have feedback can come from different means, from the Spotfire community, from the Spotfire Ideas portal, LinkedIn, social media, YouTube comments. This session is going to be recorded, so you can watch it later, and you can also watch previous recording before. So with that input, we take it, and then we usually derives in custom visualizations, new data functions, Spotfire apps, accelerators, connectors, white papers, and whatnot.
And now that you know what Spotfire and Dr. Spotfire are, we would like to kick off our presentation with our motto: learning is often fueled by questions. Questions spark curiosity, encourage exploration, and then lead to a deeper understanding of subject. They challenge us to think critically and seek answers that drives the process of learning.
Okay, here's a quick confidentiality and disclaimer notice. And let's get started. Again, my name is Jose Aguirre. I'm from Spotfire, and I'm going to present embedding Spotfire in your websites. So let's go through the agenda. Today, we will dive into the Spotfire JavaScript API, which is a powerful tool that bridges Spotfire analytics with web applications. In today's business environment, standalone analytics sometimes are not enough. We need our analytics to be integrated in our workflows and applications. When we talk about embedding Spotfire visualizations, we're not just talking about displaying statistics, static charts. We mean fully interactive, live dashboards inside your web applications. Think of it like having a window into your Spotfire analysis directly within your web page. And this can be SharePoint or blogs or any web-enabled application. The bidirectional interaction is particularly powerful. That it means that your web applications can control Spotfire, and Spotfire can trigger actions in your application. For example, when a user clicks a bar on a chart, you could update other components on your web page or vice versa. I'll be showing you practical examples through these presentations for you to get started, but keep in mind that this API opens up possibilities far beyond that I will demonstrate here. Whether you're building internal tools or customer-facing applications, the JavaScript API gives you the flexibility to create seamless, integrated analytic experiences. As we proceed with the presentation, feel free to ask questions about any specific integration scenario you are interested, and I'll try to answer at the end of the presentation. So, the JavaScript API, it's also known as mashups, allows developers to embed Spotfire visualizations and analytics into external web applications to create interactive custom solutions integrated with Spotfire. But don't confuse this JavaScript with the JavaScript for text areas or the iron pattern scripting. This JavaScript API is just another way to extend the Spotfire platform. That's why I said at the beginning that Spotfire is not just a tool, it's a platform, and it has many ways to extend it. So let's go ahead and do a quick demonstration of how this works. This is an actual animation, but I can open up the actual demo right here. So here I have a web page. You can see here I'm using my development environment. I have a self-signed certificate because I'm just developer in this developer. But I can see that Spotfire is here, is embedded, is fully interactive. If I click, everything else on my page is interactive. So you might think this is a Spotfire, but it's not. It's just a page. And it's using Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a JavaScript framework, and here you can have another visualization, interactive in your analysis. You have filters, and you can customize this any way you like. Here we have another pop-up for the pie chart to make it bigger, and so forth. So that's how it works. I'm gonna show you further on how this is done and all the capabilities that we have. Okay, so the key features and use cases highlight what you can achieve with the JavaScript API. It's not just about showing Spotfire analytics, it's about creating seamless experiences where workflows alongside your existing tools and workflows. The real power comes from combining these features. Just imagine a custom portal where users can interact with the Spotfire visualizations while triggering actions in other parts of your applications, all with your company's branding and specific business usage. So let's talk about enhanced user experience. You can create branded interfaces by embedding analytics into business portals, build custom dashboards with Spotfire alongside other tools. Customizations, you can design workflows and visualizations for specific needs, enable stakeholders to interact with live analytics in portals. Integration with tools, combine Spotfire with frameworks like V3.js or other frameworks or libraries to create hybrid enterprise visual data science insights. And there's a demo, I'm not going to show it today, but there's a demo where you can select something on your scatter plot from Spotfire, and then it will send the data through these Bing or Google API, and on that map, it is going to calculate the best route from those points that you select. It's like it's going to trace what's the best route using the mapping capabilities of these platforms. Interactivity enables real-time filtering, light, and custom actions, craft story-driven interfaces for data exploration. So let's talk about some enhancements in Spotfire 12 with the JavaScript API. So due to recent and in some future cases, changes to major browsers, the API need to be extended when it comes to authentication. And this will require all web mashups to be rewritten, but the changes needed only affects on how Spotfire analysis is loaded. So in other words, it's just a small portion of the code that needs to be changed due to these adaptations that Spotfire is making because of the industry changes. Everything else is backward compatible. It's just the way it loads the document. And this is because the browsers are going away from cookies, and now this API is not using cookies anymore. They are using tokens. It's more secure, and it's just the way the technology evolves, so we have to evolve with it. Support for all major browsers. In the nearest future, as I said, all major browsers will remove support for third-party cookies, which will make it impossible to embed all versions of the Spotfire as an iframe. In version 12.0 of the Spotfire, the entire WebPlayer has been modified to support token-based authentication, so there's no need to use cookies. Minor adjustments to the web mashups must be made to benefit from this new functionality. The authentication flow has been rewritten in order to achieve this. The rest of the API, such as working with marking, filtering, page changes, everything is unchanged. So let's talk about support for OAuth authentication flow. In Spotfire 12, web mashups now use OAuth 2 for authentication. This requires registering your application as an API client with Spotfire server. I'm going to have a slide about that, on how that works. It's a little bit technical, but it's something you need to do in order to register that API client. And you will need an API client ID for authentication. While the setup needs some configuration, it provides better security and browser compatibility. Key settings include client ID, redirect URI, and optional flags for silent or anonymous authentication. So you can do it on the background, or you can prompt with the user authentication. You can customize the authentication part. The new API, there are three new important methods in the new API. One is authenticate to get the token. The other one is to connect to create an application instance, and the OAuth end to handle OAuth redirects. The main difference is how we establish the initial connection. After that, everything works as before. So once you have the connection or the application instance, then you can run everything else. There's no major changes that you need to do. Simple and flexible coding. So Spotfire JavaScript API 12 introduces a new feature for creating seamless and interactive web mashups, including enhanced error handling and support for modern asynchronous programming styles, like using promises and await. Okay. So let's, I'm going to now show you the way this API needs to be registered. So in order to do that, you just run this command. This command is register API client. You have to be an admin or have access to the server, and then you pass all these parameters. And the only thing that you have to change, well, you have to read the documentation to see which are these parameters for, but this is a more generic. And the only thing you have to change is this part in blue. There's no space between the -a and the URL of the browser that you are hosting the pages. This is not your Spotfire server, is the URL that you're hosting the pages. So here's an example. My Spotfire installation is 14.4 in the Tomcat Spotfire bin directory. I run the config command and I pass all these parameters. And you can see here that what I change is my local host, or well, actually my browser with a port 8085, and I also pass these other parameters. This redirect the R flag. There's also no spaces between here, and I just add that page that is going to handle the authentication when it ends. Then it's going to ask me my tool password. Is when you configure the bootstrap for Spotfire, it's the same password, and it's going to respond with the client ID. Right here, you can see the client ID, and that client ID, the entire thing, you have to take a note of it. But maybe you don't remember if you already did it, or maybe you want to confirm if you have it. So you can also list the auth2 clients, and when you do that, it's going to give you a list of the name of the client, when it was created, and what it is for, and the client ID. Okay, so now let's look how that looks into a web page. I'm going to show you the Hello World application. So first of all, you need the script to get the auth JavaScript libraries from Spotfire. This is going to be your Spotfire instance, and then you add this, and you should be able to see it. Then you have as many as placeholders that you want. Each of these placeholder is going to hold a window of your application. So I just have a please wait here, but this is going to be replaced with the actual page from your Spotfire analysis. And then we're going to run a little JavaScript. Most of the part is just configuration. So I'm going to define where my server is. I'm going to define some of the flags if I want the page navigation, or the toolbar if I want to show it, or the status bar. Sometimes I want to do that. Sometimes I don't want. I just want the specific visualization. The path of my analysis, and then any open parameters and some other parameters. But this one right here is the client ID. That has to match with the previous page that I just showed you. And then the redirect URL is the same as the one that you pass the parameter. Let me go back real quick, and this is the same value for these two, client ID and redirect URI. Then I'm going to set up that is anonymous and silent, because maybe I have access to the external world, or if not, then I can just make this false if I have restricted access. I want my users to authenticate. And then finally, we change the process. We call the Spotfire WebPlayer, and we pass all these parameters, and this is going to change asynchronously. After that happens, then it's going to run the function, the connect function, and it's going to give back a token, and it's going to return the Spotfire WebPlayer connection. And after that happens, it's going to open or run the open function, and this is the open function, and is returning the application. And that application, I can just open document, and I'm going to define my first parameter is the placeholder. So in this case, if you look at the map chart wrapper, is right here, and my page title is map chart. The same with the next one is the second placeholder, and the next visualization is the line chart. So I have a map chart and a line chart. And then just if something goes wrong, I'm just consoling error. I'm just outputting an error. So let's look at that. So you can see the placeholders are loading, and then Spotfire loads. But notice in the new version, it doesn't load on every placeholder. It just loads once and then replicates above. And then it's just fully customizable. Okay, I think I have to go back and let's continue with the presentation. All right. So finally, now let's look at the unit testing. The unit testing is, I'm going to show you how this works. So it's just to demonstrate how the JavaScript API works by allowing user to set parameters and observe function call results. So let's open this unit test. Well, actually, this one right here is an article. I'm going to provide the links after I'm done. It's going to be in the description of this video. But here is more details on how this works. If you want to see it in action, let's open it up. And this is what's happening here is that again, this is not Spotfire, it's just a web page, but it's embedding these this iframe, these analysis. I
The
have
question is, can I push data from the web app into the Spotfire session?
can you push data from the web app to the Spotfire session?
Yeah, I'm not sure like what exactly, like where exactly in the spot, but I would assume that it means can you push data from for example, like from this session, maybe like back to Spotfire data tables or like data sources, I guess.
Yeah, you can leverage the JavaScript API. It's fully documented. It has a lot of methods. I'm just going to show you a little bit of what you can do, but you can explore many of those methods. You can automate and do many things with it. There are companies that have like third-party products, and they are all based with they uses the JavaScript API. They rely on the JavaScript API because it's very powerful. It's more powerful than it's different. Like, for example, the Iron Python API for text areas, you cannot, or it's very hard to put events. Like when something happens, you trigger an action, and I'm going to show you how that's done here. So here I'm just going to demonstrate some of these capabilities, like the properties, the pages, and bookmarks and filterings. So, for example, if I get all properties, then when I click that, I can see all my properties that I have here. So this is the fiscal year offset, the maximum missing time parts. Those are like default document properties. But I have some other customer property, like, for example, this number of clusters. Or this dropdown holds a document property. I know that the property is called two right charts. So I'm going to copy this value. I'm just going to copy two right charts, Control C, and then put the property there. And I know that the net income, or let me change it to net income, and then I'm going to programmatically change that document property with EPS. When I set property value, it's changing to EPS programmatically. So you can use JavaScript to change document properties in that way. That's part of the JavaScript API. I can get the property value. Right now it's EPS, but if I change it and I get the property value, now it's net income. So everything new stays on the top. Let's do the document property change. So when this document property changes, it can trigger a bunch of things. So let me clear the display real quick right now here. Okay. And I'm going to set a on document property change. Right now it's just generic, but now if I change the document property, it's going to trigger, see, the on document property changed event. So the same with pages. I can get all the pages, and I can switch to revenue by country, for example, and I set the active page, and it's going to switch to that page. So here I have a couple of bookmarks. These buttons are associated with bookmarks. When I click any of these bookmarks, I can also programmatically change those bookmarks. So let's get some bookmarks. I have all of these. These are my bookmarks. I have a total of 8. What if I programmatically go for Africa, and then I apply that bookmark Africa, and programmatically I apply that bookmark right away.
So I can see
Filtering.
that basically what you can do with Arrow and Python, you also can do it with the JavaScript API here.
Yeah, you can do it, but there are more capabilities. There are different capabilities, as I said
Yeah, it's like certain things. Yeah,
in the Iron Python. Yeah, you basically can do the same with Iron Python, but with the JavaScript you have other things, like for example these on change,
yeah.
on marking change, for example. These
Yeah,
are
listening
marking.
to events and then like, for example. Yeah.
Exactly. So what else do you want to see? You want to see the data. The data is going to get all different information about the data column or the active data table. Then it's showing you all this information about the active data table. So you can change data table, you can reload the data. Maybe you have some data from other application and you want to use it in Spotfire, or vice versa. You can take the data from your Spotfire analysis, and then maybe you want to feed some other kind of visualization. All you have to do is parse that data in JavaScript, and that's up to the programming to do a good job there. But the capabilities are there and the possibilities are endless.
Okay, we have a
I was going to
follow-up
show you this.
question. If you want to take that question for you.
Oh, there's a question. Let's see. What's the
Yeah,
question?
we'll follow up question from the first one.
Okay. Where's the API? The API. Yeah, the JavaScript capabilities of the API. And one thing I forgot to mention is in some of these. Here's the API reference. So here's all you can do with the API. You have these main classes: the application, authentication, connection settings, customization, data tables, columns, filtering, markings, and all of that. So yeah, feel free to explore the API and do some stuff. One thing I forgot to mention is when it comes to SharePoint or any blogs or something, you also need to make changes in order to set up that environment to be able to run JavaScript and HTML pages and make the proper configuration changes in order to be able to run. But it's basically a web technology, just like any other framework. You can embed Spotfire in your analysis. Okay, what else do we have here? I talk about that, and that's it. That's all I have. We have a couple of questions here.
Yeah, so we answered the first question, and then the follow-up question that data table that was the result was in the web app, and then how can I get the data table into Spotfire session, to the Spotfire session?
The data table I wish to visualize was loaded into the web app via its own custom search mechanism. How can I get the data table into the Spotfire session? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I can follow up with you, JP, to see what your use case, and we can go further about that.
Maybe you can just follow up at the end of the session. We will show an email address. You can just reach out to us, and then we will look into this.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, I would like to wrap up. Just don't forget to subscribe for our recorded sessions. Our channel is Dr. Spotfire on YouTube. It's the first Tuesday of every month. It's live. And contact us. This is the email, dr@spotfire.com. JP
Yep.
Lee, I'm going to wait for your email. And you can also suggest demos, data functions, scripts, mods, tips and tricks, new articles, white papers, new Dr. Spotfire sessions, and whatnot. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you so much, Jose. This was very helpful. Thank you so much, all, and we will see you next month.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.